Some man tried to harass our waitress, and every regular in that diner stood up at the exact same time. The guy walked in around 1 a.m. already drunk and looking for trouble. He sat at the counter and immediately started making comments about Donna's body while she poured his coffee. She ignored him like she'd ignored 1,000 men before him. But something about this one felt different. He grabbed her wrist when she tried to walk away and said loud enough for everyone to hear that she should smile more because it would make her prettier. Donna pulled her arm back and told him to let go. He laughed and asked what she was going to do about it. I watched from my booth in the corner, same booth I'd been sitting in every night for 3 years since my divorce. The trucker at the end of the counter looked up from his plate. The 2 nurses and scrubs stopped mid-con conversation. The old man who always ordered the same soup even at midnight set down his spoon. Nobody said anything yet, but you could feel the room tighten like a fist slowly closing. The guy didn't notice because men like him never notice. He kept going, calling Donna a sweetheart and baby and telling her she was too old to be playing hard to get. She moved to the other side of the counter, but he followed, sliding down the stools one by one. The cook came out from the back and told him to leave her alone. The drunk laughed and asked who was going to make him. Some grease monkey flipping eggs. He said it like he was untouchable, like this diner full of tired people at 1 a.m. was his personal playground. But here's what he didn't understand. Every single person in that diner was a regular. We'd been coming here for years. Donna remembered our orders, our birthdays, our bad days. She'd slipped me free pie when I couldn't afford groceries after the separation. She'd let the nurses study for their exams without charging them for refills. She'd driven the old man home in the rain when his car broke down. We weren't just customers, we were family, and he'd just put his hands on our family. He grabbed Donna's arm again, harder this time, and yanked her toward him. That's when every single one of us stood up at the exact same time. Not coordinated, not planned, just instinct. 8 people rising from booths and stools like something synchronized. The drunk finally noticed, and his smile flickered. He asked what we thought we were doing. The trucker cracked his neck and said, "We were just stretching because we'd been sitting too long." One of the nurses pulled out her phone and said she was calling the cops unless he wanted to leave right now. He told her to mind her own business. The old man walked over slowly with his cane and stood directly between the drunk and Donna. He didn't say anything, just stood there like a wall made of 80 years of not taking anyone's garbage. The drunk shoved him and the old man stumbled back into the counter. That's when the room stopped pretending to be civilized. The trucker was on him before he could turn around. One massive arm wrapped around his neck from behind. The cook came over the counter holding a cast iron skillet and asked if anybody would mind if he used it. The drunk was screaming now, saying we were crazy, saying he was going to sue, saying his lawyer would destroy all of us. I walked up close to his face and told him his lawyer wasn't here, but we were. One of the nurses grabbed his wallet from his back pocket and read his name and address out loud. She said it would be a shame if his employer found out how he spent his evenings. His face went white when she pulled out his work ID. Turned out he was some middle manager at an insurance company with a photo and employee number right there for everyone to see. The other nurse was already typing on her phone. The drunk started crying, actually crying, begging us not to ruin his life. The old man he'd shoved leaned on his cane and said maybe he should have thought about that before he put his hands on a woman half his size. Donna told us to let him go, and we did because Donna was in charge and always had been. The drunk scrambled toward the door, but the trucker blocked it. He said the drunk wasn't leaving until he apologized properly. The guy mumbled something pathetic, and the cook banged the skillet on the counter and said louder, so he apologized louder, looking at Donna with snot running down his face. Donna nodded and told him to never come back. The trucker stepped aside, and the drunk practically fell through the door. He watched him run to his car and peel out of the parking lot like something was chasing him. When the cops showed up 10 minutes later, nobody had seen anything, just a quiet diner full of regulars enjoying their coffee. The officer asked Donna if she was okay, and she smiled and said she'd never been better. After the cops left, she brought out a whole pie and set it on the counter. "On the house," she said, "for my boys." We sat there until sunrise eating pie and not talking about what happened because we didn't need to.